Hello, people. The purpose of today's video is I've been wanting to go over this topic for a very long time. I've written it down. Yesterday, one of my friends kind of prompted, and made me really want to talk about it. I wanted to speak on it yesterday. I want to speak on it today. I kind of always want to speak on it. And the topic is, as you will see in the title, which is very graphic: nigga, nigger, bitch, faggot. Now, the reason I didn't necessarily want to go over this is because those are, like, it's going to be a little controversial. And whenever using those words, it becomes controversial depending on the arena that you're in, as we've seen plenty times before. Just to give a slight background, I personally do not accept being called nigger, nigga, faggot, any of that shit. And it's just not me. Never has been me. I've never been okay with it. Not just based on race and sexuality or the type of person. I just don't. It just doesn't. I don't accept it. And I'll explain those to you. I personally use bitch a lot. It is one of my favorite fucking words ever. I say bitch this, bitch that. I call people bitches. It is what it is. I don't necessarily consider myself a bitch. I consider myself an asshole. But that's just me. Some people call me a bitch. Whatever. I really don't care. It's not a big deal to me. Bitch. Once again, like I said, I don't necessarily like being called it, but it doesn't matter. Like it's a non-issue. As far as nigga or nigger, nigger is just unacceptable in any realm, shape, form, whatever. But nigga is unacceptable to me personally because of just myself. It's just how I've been. I've been like that since I was a little kid. My whole family is kinda hood. They hood. And everybody curses or uses nigga or nigger, whatever. They say nigga, I guess, whatever. And this is the most I've said this in a very long time. So it's a little awkward for me. But everyone says it. And for me, it's just never been something I've accepted. And I remember as a little kid watching in school. I went to a predominantly black elementary school. And I remember them showing us videos of like Martin Luther King, some of the things that happened in the 50s, 60s, so on and so forth, with Jim Crow laws and things of that nature, and the March on Washington and all that stuff. And I remember knowing what all those things meant. I read a lot, so I always knew a lot about all that stuff, and I always read on it. And for me, it's never been something I've been okay with, ever. My family doesn't call me that. None of my friends, we don't. That's just not, that's just not how I roll. And I used to try to get people not to say it at all, but I just realized you can't change people. People are going to do what they're going to do. Just don't call me that. Because I look at a nigga or a nigger not necessarily as a black person, but an ignorant person in the use of the word. It's just an ignorant person. I've never been ignorant. And the way that some other people use it as a way, it's been used for hundreds of years to bring down the black community and anyone of African descent. And that's just not okay with me. It's not. I am not a person who uses racial epithets at all. And that's just, that's just me. I may every once in a while say something like, I have Jewish friends, I have Hispanic friends, and I'll say Jew or something like that, but I don't say it in a like, oh, my friend's a Jew or whatever. And sometimes it comes off a little wrong, but I don't necessarily mean it like that. And if anyone is ever offended, I apologize, and I try not to say it in that way, and it's not something I say often at all anyway. Like, I don't say spick or anything like that. Like, it's just not me. It's not me. Not that I've never said any of those things, but it's not really me to say it, and it's rare that you'll find me saying it. Not saying that me saying it at all is okay. I'm just trying to keep this 100. As far as nigger, um, my own personal goals, because even though I don't use it in regular conversation, I listen to a lot of rap music. I listen to everything, as you guys know, if you know me at all. But I do listen to a lot of rap music, and as we all know, a lot of rap music has that word in it. And when singing your favorite song is it's just there, you know? And it was kind of like programmed into me, and I've realized that's a bit of a hypocrisy for me to tell people not to use it towards me, or not to say it. Like, my brother said it a lot, and he actually slowed down saying it because of me, but he still says it, and that is what it is. But on a personal journey of my own, and it's getting dark in here right now. That's fucking lighting, clouds and shit. Sorry about that. There's nothing I can do. But on a personal journey of my own, I'm not going to stop listening to the music I listen to. I listen to music mostly because of the sound. The words mean something too. It's really getting dark in here. So where was I? Like I said, I'm not going to stop listening to the music I listen to. I love music. Music is about a feeling for me. And a lot of times it does have to do with the words, but for me, a lot of rap songs don't necessarily, for me, have to do with the lyrics. It's about the sound and the feeling and the music and the dancing and all that. But a lot of times the words do matter. So on my personal journey, I am attempting to not use that word at all. And that's just for me. That's my thing. I'm not trying to push it on anybody. I wish it could be where no one was using it, but that it is what it is. It's a word. It is what it is. But that's me. On the bitch thing, I understand where a lot of women specifically feel that bitch is a derogatory term, a female dog, and when calling a woman a bitch, you're saying she is low as a dog. And I really like dogs, so that doesn't really make sense to me, but I get it. I get how it makes a person feel defamed. I really do. For me, it doesn't matter. Just like you may feel like it's okay to say nigga, like Jay-Z and Oprah were talking about how they feel different about it. I have no correlation with bitch in that way. For me to say bitch, I also even watched the video of Tatiana Mercedes. She's on here, or Mark Mello on Twitter. If you follow me, you probably know who she is. She made a video about how she feels about the word bitch, how she uses it all the time, blah blah blah. And I'm sure there are hundreds of videos on here about how people feel about the word nigga. But this is my own personal thing. I use bitch all the time. I call everybody a bitch. Bitch. I must say bitch like 100 times a fucking day. I had a coworker who said, I can't remember his exact wording, but it was very funny about my blatant use of the word bitch. And it's just me. I say it all the time. It's one of my favorite curse words. It emphasizes shit. It makes you feel better. It's just awesome. I love that word. That's just me. I say bitch all the time. Bitch this, bitch that, bitch. Bitches, fucking bitches, motherfucking bitches, all this motherfucking bitch. This bitch. I say it all the time. It is what it is. Now, I do have friends who have personally asked me not to call them a bitch. And I respect that, because this one friend actually used the word nigga a lot. And she happens to be Hispanic, but she actually looks black, but she's Hispanic. She uses the word nigga a lot. And where I come from, in New York and California, Hispanic people, more in New York, Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, they use nigga all the time. Like, it's just cool and shit. And I don't personally say anything about it anymore. It just is what it is. That's just the whole culture of New York. In California, you don't see it as much. You do, but not as prevalent as it is in New York. the mindset is way different. In California, Hispanic people, Mexicans, anybody who lives in California, the Spanish community is the majority is Mexican. Not being any kind of way, it's just a fact. Southern California, anyway. You don't hear it as much. You do hear it, but in California, there's more of a racial breakdown. There's so many races in California that are from any and everywhere. You don't really hear it as much. Not the word nigga, but from the different types of people. You don't hear it as much as you do in New York. So, I don't really say anything about it. I just say, don't call me that. Don't say that. Like, you'll hear, just like way back in the day when Jennifer Lopez did her little Jenny from the Block shit, she said niggas be tripping or some shit in this song. But in people like blew up because how dare Jennifer Lopez, Puerto Rican by the way, say nigga when she's a sellout or she's whitewashed or however anybody wants to put it. But you're not mad at Big Pun, rest in peace, who has a fucking song called Nigga Shit. I had the album. Yeah, baby. That's my album. But anyway, how I didn't get that. And one of my reasons for like not being, and I'm going to keep going back and forth and all around because it just is what it is. One of my reasons for not liking being called nigga is like, not even by black people. Like, I don't give a shit whether you are blue, black, purple, orange, yellow, green, white, whatever the fuck. You're not going to call me nigga. I don't care. I don't accept it. It's just not okay. It's not going to happen for me. And the reason for that being is because I know a lot of people get upset by this when they say, and when white people specifically say, oh, you can say it, but why can't I say it? No, you can't say it, bitch. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You can't say it. I may correct a black person from saying it, but if a white person said it, I've actually never had a white person call me a nigga, and God forbid I do. I don't know how to react to it, so I can't really even speak on it. I've actually, as far as I remember, I've only had a person call me nigga or nigger in as a racial slur once, and it was a kid who was a little younger than me. He was picking on my brother, and he's like, "Fuck you, nigga." He was Mexican. Yeah. So that was the first and I believe last time that's ever happened to me personally. But yeah, I don't see how you can expect people not to call you something and you call yourself that and you allow other people to call you that. So when black people say, oh, if this white person or this Hispanic person or blah 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 calls me nigga, it's a fucking problem. But if a black person calls me nigga, it's okay. For me, that's not the case. Like, it's not gonna happen. I'm not gonna accept it from anybody. That is not who I am. No matter what my fucking race is, I'm not an ignorant person. Ignorance is not bliss, and it's not a cool way to be. So that's not something I ever want to be. And also on top of that, with the Ku Klux Klan mindset and the South, not recent South, but maybe still, I don't really know. I don't do the South like that. But with the South will rise again mindset, nigger is way more than that. I have been called colored before, and that was a problem for me. I didn't appreciate it. But it was by a very ignorant person. And that's just, it is what it is. We're not going to get into that story. That's a whole different story. So, with bitch, like I said, I use bitch a lot. It is what it is. Oh, that's where I lost complete track. Rewind a little bit. My friend who is Hispanic but looks black uses the word nigga. I use bitch. She's a woman, obviously. And she had a problem. She didn't always have a problem, but she, at a certain point, came to a point where she's just like, that's not okay with me to call me bitch or whatever. And I was like, okay, fine. It was weird to me that it came out of nowhere, but it was what it was. So what I did is, because I use it so often, I really do, especially in candid conversation, I call people bitch all the time. It is what it is. So for her and for other people who are, and I use it more, it's actually part of my vocabulary now, I call them BI instead of saying bitch. because it was really hard for me not to say bitch. So I was like, but I'm still gonna respect you because you asked me not to do this, and I'm not gonna disrespect you. You know what I mean? Just because I don't want you to disrespect me. Mind you, she still continued on saying nigga. She did work on it, but she's not as hard as I did on not saying bitch. But I brought up bi. So people ask me what a bi. Why you call me bi? They'll think I'm calling them bi when I'm usually actually saying bitch. It's short for bitch for me. That's what I came up with. Because I'm not gonna disrespect anyone. I can be very blunt and blatant and say what the fuck I feel. But at the end of the day, I try to have respect for everybody. For the most part. Okay, faggot. Faggot for me is just not okay. Like to call someone. For me personally, and mind you, this is me personally, a faggot is not necessarily a person who is gay or not just gay, but who is overly flamboyant or anything like that. That for me, that is not my definition of faggot. That's me, mind you. Once again, this is not a word I use. I don't use it. But once again, I say it. If it comes up in a song, I say it. Burn down the chi-chi and all that shit. And I don't believe in any of that stuff. But I'm trying to get around that from saying all these things like nigga, faggot. I'm still gonna say bitch. It is what it is. But so I'm trying to get away from saying those things because it's something I'm not okay with. So I can't go around saying them and expecting people to think that not be shocked when I say, oh wait, don't call me that shit. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? You know what I mean? It's about respect. But as far as with faggot, oh my hand, why are you on telling my hands is ashy? Oh, where's my lotion? Anyway, I just keep my hands down here. As far as faggot, I look at, when I hear faggot, like faggot is like calling someone a cunt. Like when you call a woman a cunt, like if you really want to dig, you call them a faggot, like, or a cunt. And that's stuff I don't say. That's another word I don't use cunt. It's not really in my vocabulary. As far as faggot, I see, when I say faggot, if I say faggot, which I don't, but when people ask me why I have a problem with it or how I see it when they say it, I see a faggot as a man who doesn't take care of his responsibilities, has kids everywhere. You are not a man. Like, you are a person who is not doing what the fuck you were supposed to be doing. You are irresponsible. You are, like, having kids everywhere and not taking care of them, being one of those bitch-ass people who don't fucking pay their child support, who fucking around on their wives and all that shit. That's what I think of when I think faggot. I am not that. And I don't see a person just because they're homosexual as being a faggot. Because the way your sexuality does not, to me, define your manhood. That's just me. However you feel about that is up to you. So that is just not something I don't call that to people. If I say that to you, like, shit is real. Shit just got real. If I call you a cunt, a faggot, a nigger, like, shit just got real. That mean I must think nothing of you. Like, you are low and disgusting to me. If I call a woman a cunt, I think you're a dirty, disgusting bitch. Nasty hole. That's what I think. If I call a man a faggot, I'm not talking about sexuality. I'm talking about your manhood. You are not a fucking man because you're not doing the things a man does. And that doesn't, for me, mean, okay, whether you're out having sex with men. Let me make that very clear. When you're not being a man, you're not taking care of your responsibilities the way you were supposed to. You are out here in the world being a dumbass, doing stupid shit, fucking everybody. Like, that's what I mean. And I think you're fucking disgusting. If I call you a nigger or a nigga, I think you are a fucking ignorant ass piece of shit, not worthy. Like, you're just not, all those things. That's like taking it to the next level for me. So that's why I don't say those things, because it's virtually never that serious. If it's ever that serious, like I just said, shit got fucking real. And we just took it to a whole new level. You know what I mean? And also, while we're here, really quick, like my there are people in my family who use like the word cracker to defame Caucasian white people, and I'm not cool with that. Like, that's just like calling somebody a nigger to me. Like, I don't. It's not me. It's not okay. I don't necessarily have a definition for cracker or how I feel about cracker. It's just not cool in general for me. It's the same as faggot, cunt, nigger, like cracker. That's in the, because that's what people. It's all racial shit, and I really am segregating people in a certain way. And that's how I feel about that. And all of this ranting about all this shit was the reason I kind of didn't want to do this video, but I felt like I needed to explain myself a little bit on why I feel the way I feel about these words. And people say words don't have power unless you give them power, and I believe that to an extent, but people feel how they feel about certain things for whatever reason. And I'm not, if I feel that that is disrespectful to me, I'm not going to allow it to happen. You're not going to disrespect me, period. And I'm not going to disrespect you. And that is what it is. I think I've said pretty much all I can say about that. So if you guys have any comments, feelings, or whatever about this, post them below. Let's try and keep it as positive as possible. I don't want to have to flip out on nobody. Don't come in my neck. Don't ask me no fucking stupid ass questions. Please, just don't. I don't know how many comments are going to be on this video, how many views it's going to get or whatever. But I just think it needed to be said. Or I needed to say it. I didn't really need it to be said for anybody else. Whatever. I just needed to say it. So that is that. This video is going to be long as fucking hell. I'm probably going to have to do a lot of editing because I've been ranting like crazy. Follow me on Twitter, s.massimo. I'll probably just put the little thing right here. There's not a link because I don't think you can link to YouTube yet, but it'll be there. And that's pretty much it. So please give me your experiences, your feelings about these words, so on and so forth. And let me know what you think. So, later. Much love. Deuces.